Hello, so I want to make a video session review recording on my own session that I played at No Limit 2 on Poker Stars. So I'm still learning the game. I was used to fixed limit, so this new No Limit is a new thing for me. So here this middle position opens and I fold. Next hand, let's see, Jack 8 on the small blind. And here there's a fish who limped in. And there's another, looks like a weak player on the big blind. So I think it's okay for me to call here. It's just 1 cent. And I get a chance to flop a pair. But I think it's very close, and Jack 7 off I would fold. So it's like a borderline that I might call, and I do call. But now this turns out that the big blind has a hand or something. He raises and I'm folding for sure. So on to the next hand. So here we fold Jack 3 off on the button. And here we have Queen 4 offsuit on the big blind, and it's check to us. And this guy is playing so far 80-0 and this is playing 30-0. So it looks like they are weak players. We completely missed the flop. It goes check, check, check. Now the turn is 4. And I think a guy with 7 might bet on the flop, and any flush draw will call now. And any 5, any 6 might call because they are so weak. So I think it's a good idea to bet my third pair here. And if they had a 10, they would sure bet it on the flop, unless they're slow playing the nuts or something. So I do bet, and you know, the pot is very, very small. So I could also make it like 4 cents, but I make it 6 cents. Because I think it's good for me, even if they fold, it's good, you know. Because I don't want any flush draw, you know, to get a cheap price or something. So if they have a heart, you know, and they just want to come along, they will have to pay this price, you know. And they fold. And I take down the pot. So this is the next hand, we fold. Now we have 10-5 suited on the small blind. Again, there's this fish. This big blind is a little bit aggressive, I remember this guy. So I think it's okay to fold there, I don't remember. I do call because of this guy probably. I think it's very okay to fold this. He checks, and the flop is 10-7. And now it's like, we have the trips and they usually don't have anything, right? But this Chrysler X guy on the big blind is aggressive, so if we check, he might, you know, he might try to bluff on this board, you know, just to take it. And if, you know, because it looks like nobody has anything here. And even this weak fish guy who's 80-0 might bluff here if it's checked to him. So I think it's a good idea to check here. If I bet, I think it's not a good idea. I think it's better to check. And I do check. And this Chrysler guy indeed bets out the pot size. So I am quite sure, like, it's weaker hand than ours. That if he had like stronger 10 or 7s or something, you know, or 10-7, which is very, very rare, he would not bet that big. So it's a weird bluff that we somehow expect from him. He's playing aggressive. So now let's see. The fish folds and we just call. And my strategy here is a little bit like similar to what I would do sometimes on fixed limit. It's like just check call, because I'm quite sure that most of the time he just has air or few bluffs, and he might try to get us off a hand. So I think I check call again. Now he bets again the pot size, and I'm still pretty sure he has almost nothing, you know, or a 7, which he plays weird, but I'm pretty sure he has almost nothing. And on this river, you know, we might bet very small to think it's a bluff, you know, to make him think it's a bluff or something. But I think it's okay to pretend weak again and pretend ace high or weak pair, and let's see if he barrels again. I don't remember. And he checks back, and he had the 7 and he bet 2 times pot size, and on the river it, it was a scary river for him. But I didn't really put him on 7, I put him on like pure air, so that's why I thought it's better to check. So it turned out my read was incorrect, but I do take down a pretty good sized pot anyway. And you know, if I bet and he raises, he might have Jack 9 or whatever. So even like a bet call on the river is not that great, you know. And then we don't know what he has. So I think it's fine to check call, check call, check call, or I don't know if I would check raise the river if it was a good river. I'm new to No Limit, and I would probably even check call the river. I don't know, and because like what will he call if we check raise? Let him just bluff. Okay. But I'm quite fine how I played it. I think most people like him. If he barrels 2 times, he might try again on the river. So that's why I did this. Check, check, check. Right? So next hand is pocket 7s. We have middle position, and this guy on the under the gun raises, min raises. So I might even fold here. I'm very quite tight here because you know don't want to 3-bet and you don't want to call. So I think I might even fold, and I do fold pocket 7s then. So he had king king queen, so it would be quite hard to play this hand for us. So here we fold 10 deuce, here we fold 9 5, and now we have ace queen suited on the under the gun, and I'm sure I will open it like 4 big bets or something. And I open it like 4, and not more than 4, but I open it 4 because I think fish will call it very easily, and I sometimes thought it might you can even open it bigger. But this time they fold everybody, so I think 4 big bets from under the gun is fine, especially if there's fish in the hand who calls 60% pre-flop. So now what we do? Fold this 8 high. Here we fold again. Here we fold our weekend. Here we fold queen high. Now we have again nothing. Now we have 8-6 suited on the big blind. It's folded to us. King 10 on small blind, not a good spot, you know, but this is too good of a hand to fold that. King 9 off, I would still raise. King 8 off, I would probably even fold against this guy. I don't know, I don't like the spot. So it's not like I want to be, it's not that bad, but it has many mistakes, you know, but you know, this stats is almost nothing, but looks like it's not very good. So he 3-bets and I think I'm out of the hand. I think in this out of position was quite a weak hand against tightish bad guy. You just don't want to come along. And if he's like bluffing, which I think he's not that big of a price, you know, it's the first time he 3-bets us. Then here this guy raises 5 big bets after to isolate the fish. I think it's great to get out of hand. You don't have to face this guy with 5 suited. The fish also folds. And here it's on the button with king 2 suited. I think it's a standard open. I would make it like 3 big bets usually, I think. I do make it 3 big bet. And the bad guy from the small blind calls and the tight guy on the big blind folds. Let's see, on the flop we have a good draw, and king high is also has showdown value even, so I'm sure I bet here. I don't know how big, you know. I think 8 or 10 cents is okay, like 6 cents maybe. I think we will get paid off. Usually we are very ahead of his range, I feel. So I bet 8 cents, which is okay, and we get called. And now we hit a straight on the turn, so let's see, he checks again, and and here I bet small on the turn, like maybe to pretend a bluff or kind of, you know, not discourage like weak draws to continue, I guess. So I think he called this. And on the river we improve even to the nut flush. So let's see how it goes. He checks again. And here again, you know, I don't remember how big. I bet like I can kind of guess it's fine to bet like we want to get value, but I don't think we're gonna get called, so I might make it smaller also. But if he has something, it's good, to get the value and he doesn't call. And I think it's fine to bet even a little bit smaller, because if he wants to check raise, he might, check raise smaller bets also. But I think it's a little bit too big to call him with weak hand, so I think like I might even be like 26 cents or something is good. I think a little bit too big this bet. So here we get off the hand. Here we also fold. I'm not gonna steal with any two, Here we also not gonna steal with 9-8 off. 9-8 off on the cutoff. We're not gonna steal. It's a little bit too low for me. And here we have under the gun king or in middle position king 10 suited. I think I raised this 3 big blinds. I think it's fine. We get this cold call from the tight guy on the button, so it's quite interesting what he has. Now we're out of position. On this board against this tight guy, I think it's okay to Conti bet, because like queen jack and stuff like that we will fold, which is good for us, because if we check we just give up the pot, I feel. So I bet small and I think it's fine, he might fold. He does come along. And now I think, he has ace highs and stuff, and I'm probably just giving up here with a check fold. And he bets half the pot and I just fold, I guess. Fold. And now we have ace 9 off on the big blind, and two guys limp, both are pretty bad. So it's a spot in fixed limit I would raise against this guy, but I'm new to no limit, and here I'm not that confident, and I'm not sure like how to play it out of position with both of them, so I check, I guess. And I check again on this straight draw. And here again, two guys, I have no idea where I stand, and I check again. Get checked, and here I'm probably behind already. So one guy even limped with queens and checked 3 straight. So probably wanted to slow play and the king scared him off. But I don't know what he does, if he even knows like anything about the standard strategy or anything about betting even, because he just checked this flop and this turn with pocket queens after limping in. So I'm not even sure if he planned a trap for the river. I think he just looks, and maybe hopes others to bet or something. I don't know. So now we have 8 deuce on the big blind, and here we small blind checks, and we have bottom pair. I think it's fine to even bet it. We have no idea about this guy's range who limped in my middle position was with 30-0 stats, and I think it's good to check, but I think it's a little bit okay to bet like 4 cents, but I check. Now he bets 2 cents, and well, it's not a good spot to be in now. He could have anything. I don't know what I do. I call. I think I don't know how to play this hand even. Now I fold, I'm sure of it. So he probably has a better hand or something, and he had the middle bet. I think it's this one bet on the turn is okay to call, because we would bet ourselves and he could have a flush draw, and this guy might fold even to this one bet. So I think it's okay to call and see what he does on the river. And on this river, if he bets bigger, I think it's easy to fold, because this guy might also have something. It turned out he had middle pair, and this guy hit the river with his draw and river fold, and I'm sure of it. Here we fold. Then we fold. Now we have 10 jack. Okay, this guy raises. And here I'm not a big fan to do anything here with such a weak hand. It's just not the spot. I think I feel I want to play against the fish and do this regular kind of isolates, like, it's too weak to do anything there. I'm not too good at bluff 3 betting that. I haven't done it because I feel people are not that over aggressive at these stakes, and I feel people are like more passive, and so with the race they actually have something. But here's it gets 3 bet to us. Now we have it. I think it is aggressive guy. I just want to fold. I think. And this is Queen 10 on the button. I will make this a final hand, and let's see how it goes. And this is the aggressive bad guy, and this is like a tight guy. Let's see what we do. He cold calls from the small blind, 3 big bets the raise. And flop comes, we hit middle pair. Let's see what he does. He checks, and we bet like big. That anything might call, it's all for value. So he calls, and the turn is something like we might still be ahead. I think it's okay to check. I think it's better to check even. I think I do check because even if we bet small, he might like raise, and if we are behind, then we can't call and to hit our draws. So let's see on the river. I don't know. I think it's fine to check. He might have king x that he's afraid to bet, or even ace x, or even his flush or something. So I do check the river, and he had top 2 on the flop, so we kind of got away pretty cheap. So this is it, and it's like a first video with many hands, me playing No Limit 2 on PokerStars. So thank you for watching. It is good for me to do this session review.